Hello everyone. Yes, this is the unboxing of the Eddie Guerrero Special Edition. There's only going to be 1,000 copies of this sold globally. And obviously this is a prototype. There are a couple of changes that have happened, but I wanted to show you what's inside this box. I don't want to call it unboxing because I've obviously unboxed it like 700 times. But inside this cover, you'll find Eddie Guerrero's player board, which I'll explain in a second, and a manual that both has instructions on how to play Eddie Guerrero and his special abilities, but also the other side has the solo campaign. So if you're a solo player, there's an Eddie Guerrero solo campaign that I'll talk about in a second. Let's see what's inside this box. Let's start with the basics, things that you expect from any wrestler. There's a profile card for Eddie Guerrero, Viva la Raza. And there are 16 attack cards that come with this game. You have things like Lasso from El Paso, Suplex, a couple of suplexes actually, Brainbuster, a single leg crab, not grab, this is being fixed for the final production, Suplex 3, excuse me, European uppercut, some generic cards, but you'll find a lot of new Eddie Guerrero artwork. And this pack has plenty of Eddie Guerrero specific moves, obviously the Frog Splash. And that's your attack deck. Now, before I tell you what else is in this box, I want to tell you how this player board works and the kind of different abilities and why Eddie Guerrero is so special. So our promise to you is that in the future, if we ever use Eddie Guerrero in any future game, they'll have a completely different player board. This Eddie Guerrero will play differently than any other. That's why it's a collector's edition. And the big thing about this, I won't go through over every ability, but the big thing about Eddie Guerrero are these scheme cards. So whenever you get hit, you get a scheme token. Whenever you give up the initiative for 3 stamina or more, you get a scheme token. And you can then use the scheme tokens to trigger one of these 3 scheming abilities, which are lying to the referee, cheating the opponent, and stealing the win. And so you have a choice on how to use Eddie Guerrero's scheming to win the match. And the great thing about this mechanic is these 3 referee check cards. So whenever you trigger one of these abilities, you're going to place these 3 check cards. You're not going to show your opponent what they are. One of them says scheme succeeds. One of them says scheme fails. And the third I'll explain in a second. You're going to put them in a particular order that the opponent doesn't know. And the opponent has to pick one card. So let's assume he's picked this card. That means your scheme failed. Or if he's picked this card, the scheme has succeeded. And what that means is you then do whatever's on this card. So for example, trigger when pinning. If the scheme succeeds, your opponent suffers -1 kick out roll. So they'll have 1 less chance of kicking out the roll. But if your scheme fails, so if your opponent picks scheme fails, the opponent automatically kicks out. So there's a risk-reward kind of component. Some of these will allow you to pin your opponent and gain the initiative. Some of them will allow you to deal a lot more damage. So there are all these schemes that you can choose. And what's special about these cards is this yellow one. So if your opponent picks this one, your scheme still succeeds, but you eliminate this from the next time you scheme. So the next time you scheme, there are only, the opponent's chances of picking the right card goes up to 50%. So your scheme might fail. So this whole system is built on Eddie trying to cheat in one shape, way, or form, whether it's trying to improve his chances of pinning you or pinning you on his offensive ability window. Let's say you don't have any pin cards, or gaining the initiative and dealing a ton of damage. There's a lot of things that Eddie Guerrero can do, and I think that will make this play like super special. There are some other abilities that make him cool as well. So all right, so what else is in this box? Excuse me, I've diverged. One last thing that you'll get is every one of those is, even if you don't get the solo Ultima pack, you're going to get an Ultima ability. So if you want to play against Eddie Guerrero, you place that one there, and you'll get his campaign profile card. So even if you've picked the $22 edition version with no solo pack, you'll still get these. But for $33, you'll get these additional cards. All these campaign cards. Like, this is incredible, right? And you'll notice there's a lot of story here. And I'm telling you, this is one of the most fun kind of storylines that I've written so far. About close to 20 cards there. And then you get some special elements that have to do with the campaign. One is Charles's watch, which is the core mechanic for this entire campaign. And it has to do with a little bit of time travel. I'm not going to ruin it much. There's the Olympic gold medal, and I'm not going to ruin this either. There's Ray Jaguar's Survivor and Dream. So something I need to explain is, for you to play the Eddie Guerrero solo campaign, you need to have an all or nothing first or second edition. Both work. I've also included some new face abilities. So these are the level 1 abilities as face cards. There are specific ones for Eddie Guerrero, which is the first time we've done this, which is quite cool. And finally, there's the a specific Eddie campaign ability. So you know when you get the 8 skill tokens and you replace them with one of the 7 abilities that are there. Now this is an 8th ability, and so that's unique to Eddie Guerrero. So you get a lot of bang for your buck here. You get this amazing IP. You get a collector's edition, this incredible new mechanic, and this whole solo campaign. I hope you guys get a copy. I'm really proud about how Eddie Guerrero plays out. And I think you'll really enjoy playing this one. I don't know if this will sell out. I don't know how long it'll take. But you know, regardless, I don't want to rush anyone to think that, you know, I hate people who tell you, get it now or else it's gonna get sold out. But I think you should just get it because it's an amazing product. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, just email us at any time.